Give a round of applause for Mr. Phil Williams.
Hey, God bless you, everybody. How you guys doing today? All right. Can I hear? I know you got some food in your mouth and everything like that, but I just want to hear just a little bit louder. How you doing today? All right, there you go. And let me tell you something that's so good about being good. Just real quick before I go into where I'm going to go. When God got finished with everything, He said it was good. So guess what? Don't let somebody make you think you have to be amazing when God said good. Don't make somebody think you have to be spectacular when God said good. When He made you, He said you were good. So good is good enough for God. Now, does that mean that you don't strive? No. Does that mean that you don't do anything amazing? No. Does it mean that you don't do anything spectacular? No. But just in God's eyes, good is good enough. Does that make sense? Makes sense. Yeah, but when you're out there doing your exercise, you're doing your school, man, strive for them. If you want to be amazing, be amazing. But when somebody else makes you think that you have to be amazing, just remember, in God's eyes, good is good enough. God didn't say when I made everything it was amazing. When I made everything it was spectacular. He said it was good. So I love hearing you guys say that you're good. I love hearing that. Love hearing that. But anyway, again, my name is Phil Williams. I go by the name of Philosophy. And what I like to do is always share my God-given philosophy, my functioning life philosophy, and the things that have worked out for me. I like to share these things because maybe they might work out for you. They might not work out for you, but they worked for me. And so I like to share those things. And where I'm going to go today, I'm going to call this no man's land. Everybody say no man's land. No man's land. Because where no man's land is at, it's the opposite of yes man's land. I noticed that I got in a lot of trouble when I hung around in yes man's land, where everybody was telling me yes, where I was always looking for the yes. Say, for instance, everybody says smoking weed is okay. Okay, we'll just take smoking weed. Everybody says smoking weed is okay. You find people on the internet say, man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Yes, man, go ahead and smoke some weed, man. Yes, it's a little bit. Yes, smoking weed. But I come to find out that when I live in no man's land when it comes to smoking weed, then it goes like this. I'm hearing all the people say yes, but then I study the people who's going to tell me no. Who's going to tell me no, I can't smoke weed? I hear all the people telling me yes, but what about the people that tell me no? So in no man's land, there's your parents that might tell you no. There's the law that might tell you no. There's the government that might tell you no. There's the people that care about you that might tell you no. And I found out when I live in no man's land, I make better decisions. Not when I'm surrounded by a bunch of people that say yes, yes, yes. It's when I live in no man's land. So if I'm going to go smoke weed and I go to no man, I hear the people telling me, yes, that's my friends, so-called friends, is coaching you into doing something that's illegal. Don't forget the legal system said no, right? But your friend said yes. And so when I live in no man's land, I go, no, I'm not going to smoke weed because it's illegal. So I tell my friend, my so-called friend, no, I'm not going to smoke weed. Man, one night, man, everybody's doing it. Then I go back in no man's land again. My parents are not doing it. So no, I'm not going to do it. God is going to tell you no when it's something illegal. See, God lives in no man's land. That's where God lives. So if you take everything that you're hearing from the people saying yes, cut school. You need to go to no man's land. Who has a problem with you cutting school? The teacher has a problem. The principal has a problem. The superintendent, your mom has a problem. Your mentors, your coaches, they have problems. There's so many people that have a problem, and all the people that love you live in no man's land. Does that make sense? A lot of the people that love you live in no man's land. I love no man's land. No man's land gets me blessed. See, in no man's land, there's a yes from Jesus. In no man's land, there's yes, you can go out and have fun. You can go to the movie. See, that yes is in no man's land. Amen. Trouble is in yes man's land.
Amen.
When you surround yourself with a whole bunch of people that say yes, that live in no man's land, it's a good thing. Say, for instance, people at your church. A lot of your people at your church live in no man's land. They love you. They're bucking everything with the no. Yes, I want to be materialistic. But who's going to say, yes, I want material things. But who tells you no? God tells you no. Your pastor should tell you no. You should tell yourself no. When everybody's saying yes to materialism, you should go to no man's land immediately and see who's all telling you no. And then even if you don't even want to hear the no, ask why. It's okay in no man's land to ask why is it a no. It's okay. See, in yes man's land, they don't like you to ask why. You ever notice that? In yes man's land, they don't ask you. Whenever you're hanging around a bunch of people saying yes to a whole bunch of foolishness, and you ask why, don't they got a problem? Why should I smoke weed? Hey man, just do it, bro. Man, everybody do it. They don't want to ask. But in no man's land, you can ask why and not feel pressure. Why shouldn't I want material things? Because these things perish. These things you can't take with you to heaven. These things, no man's land has explanations. And those explanations are out of love and safety and concern. No man's land is a great place. A lot of the young people that I see getting shot by the police, shot by other things of this nature, they didn't know how to handle a no. They were, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I want to drive with no license. Yes, I want to do this. Yes, the police pull them over because they're the people to say, no, you can't drive without a license, and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle a no. It doesn't mean they should be killed for it or anything, but think about it. No, I don't want to be arrested. They're saying, no, you're not going to have your freedom anymore. I need you to get into this car. No, they were surrounded by a whole bunch of yes people that said, yes, it was okay for me to have these drugs. Yes, it was okay for me to drive with no license. Yes. And then now there is somebody coming to tell them no, and they don't know how to handle it. They end up resisting the person telling them no. Trust me, I'm following my disclaimer now. This is no excuse for anybody to be shot. But just understand what I'm saying. If they lived in no man's land, they probably wouldn't be driving with no license. They probably wouldn't be smoking and being high, having drugs on them. And the things with the people that are designed to tell you no, come and do their jobs. But if you sat there and said, man, I really do want to smoke this weed, but let me live in no man's land for a second. Man, my mom's going to tell me no. So now I'm prepared. If I still go do it anyway and I confront my mom and my mom comes and says no, that doesn't sound new to me. That doesn't sound like something I have to argue with. I already knew it. I studied to show myself approved. So it's not foreign to me when my mom says no. So when she tells me no, I say, Mom, why? Because it's okay to ask why in no man's land. Because it's my house. Because that's not good for you. I didn't raise you that way. It can get you in trouble. It can get you in jail. It can get you dead. It can have you interacting with somebody that has to sell you the weed that doesn't have your best interest at heart. See, all these things come from no man's land. And then most likely, even if you still said yes and your mom said no, you will accept more of your mom's no than fighting her for your yes. The police are designed to tell you no. But if you don't study the police, study them. Get a law book. Get the police regulations. Why would the police tell me no? Because it's illegal. If you're hanging around the wrong person, that person is being approached by the police to tell them no, but you're hanging with the person that the police is saying no, and then you take their situation on for yourself. Because what are you going to do? You're going to tell the police that's telling that person you're hanging with no, and you're going to fight for that person's yes. Let the police tell them no. You should have been telling them no if you cared about them. See, when you live in no man's land, then you take your land that you live in where you can be blessed and get a yes from God, and you can share that with your friend. So then the police don't even have to talk to them because you told them no. And if they insist on their yes, you will say no, and then you won't have to fight for their yes when the police mess with them because you're not with them. Hey man, I told you, bro, they was going to do this to you. I told you, sis. And you going about your business. You stay safe and free, and you pray for your partner that he gets enlightened or waking up in some kind of way. If anything, you'll do something smart, and you'll say like this, bruh, no, don't fight them. Don't fight the police, bruh. I'm the one that care about you right now. Don't count on those police caring about you. They're just designed to tell you, no, man, don't fight them. Say no to yourself. Relent in the flesh. Don't fight them. Come on, bruh. You know you was wrong. You know that you shouldn't have been doing that. We'll fight your case from 6 feet. We'll fight your case from the other side of the glass versus 6 feet deep on your behind. See, living in no man's land gives you this wisdom. It gives you this. It keeps you safe from gangs. Living in no man's land keeps you safe from gangs. Living in no man's land keeps you safe from domestic violence and growing up to do something ridiculous. Living in no man's land is the place you should strive to live. There are so many good, loving, positive, inspirational yeses in no man's land. But in yes man's land, man, there's a whole bunch of things that's going to stop you. Live in no man's land, people. Have the mindset to tell yourself no to the things that your friends are saying yes. Make them prove that that yes will keep you free, will keep you safe, will keep you in God's will, that will keep you in the messages that your mentors give you. These people, man, I guarantee if I call Corey up here, he will tell you it breaks his heart for him to share with a young person a whole bunch of things that can keep them safe. And there's a lot of no's. No, don't lift the weight this way, lift it this way. He says no first, right? And get you to a yes to where you lift it properly, where you don't hurt yourself. He gives you advice. Man, say no to the games. And then when Corey comes to find out the person that he was teaching how to say no to certain things fell in the category of the yes people, and then they're coming back to him and say, man, he hurt, he in jail, he's dead, or whatever. I know that's gotta hurt. But no man's land is where you should live. No man's land is where your blessings are. God gives a lot of yeses. After he gets you understanding the no, that's not what I want for you. That's not what I want for you. And then you let your friends talk you into something that God doesn't want for you. Because it feels good, looks good, sounds good, tastes good. Bad tastes, bad sounds, bad things are circumvented when you live in no man's land. That means you do not go through it in a bad way when you live in no man's land. And that person that's beating you up, bullying you, and things because you're telling them no, just know this, they are not your friends. They are not your loved ones. They do not care. If they will beat you up from you saying no to them, that is not your friends. My dad and my mom told me this, and I'm going to close with this. They said, here is the reason why you're allowed to say no to an adult. A person of authority, anybody, the police or anybody. Here is the reason why you're allowed to say no. If they are asking you something to have you hurt yourself, so if you know your medical condition, you can't breathe right or something like this, and they're asking you to do something that would mess that up, I am allowed to tell them no. But I have to do it with respect. No, officer, I can't do that. I'm going to have to say no to you, sir, because I have breathing problems. What you're asking me to do can have me hurt myself. I am willing to do whatever it is that you're asking me to do, but I'm just saying that what you're asking me to do right there, well, and if you do this with a calm voice and instead of your arms flailing and stuff, most likely God can make your enemy behave and listen to you. Know your situation better than you expect for somebody else to know your situation. No, officer, I would love to do what you're asking me to do, but I have breathing problems, and that right there will put me in danger. Is there something else I can do? Do that calm and collective, and most likely they will adhere to what you're saying. The second reason why I'm allowed to say no is because you're asking me to do something to have me hurt somebody else. If you're asking me to do something that's going to hurt that person right there, I'm telling you no. With respect, sir, I cannot do that because that will have me hurt that young man. If you're insisting on me to do something to hurt that young man, I'm sorry, sir, I'm going to have to say no, and I'll accept whatever punishment you're going to give me. But I am not going to hurt that young man. And when you do that with a calm, collective, concise, matter-of-fact-ish kind of way, God can make your enemy behave. And if that man insists on having me do something to hurt this young man, I'm going to continue to insist. I'm not going to hurt that young man. Put me in handcuffs, take me to jail. Whatever it is that you feel that you need to do, I am not going to hurt that young man. So outside, the teacher comes and say, can you get that broom and sweep this? And you want to tell him no? How's that broom, how's sweeping that going to hurt you? How's sweeping that going to hurt somebody else? You are to be doing it. You know when you ask why? This is what my parents told me. You ask, why did you ask me to sweep while I got that broom in my hand sweeping? And I do that with respect. Excuse me, Miss Smith. I just want to know, why did you ask me to sweep? You see what I'm saying? So, is it going to hurt myself? No. Not hurt my feelings or hurt any of that stuff. If it's going to hurt me? No. Then I should be doing it. Is it going to hurt somebody else? No. I should be doing it. And I can ask why while I'm doing it. I can ask why when I get finished. But when it comes to no man's land, I can ask why right up front. Why are you asking me to do something to hurt that man? I'm in no man's land now, because I'm telling you no. I'm living in no man's land. Why are you telling me to hurt that man? Why are you telling me to hurt myself? See, I can ask why in no man's land and make it make sense. People, live in no man's land. You will get more positive, loving, safe, peaceful, joyful yeses than you've ever gotten your whole life. No man's land is the place to be. I'm philosopher. All right, of course. Give him a hand, give him a hand.